welcome back. In the first video I outlined all the mistakes that most people make when they're trying to advertise online. In the second video I outlined my methodology that I used to come up with basically this ad. And this ad right here, I earned $40,000 just advertising as an affiliate the year that I advertised it. And then unfortunately it just got copied by everybody, and the affiliate program manager told his affiliates to use it, but I won't get into that, and it's all went under the bridge and we're good friends now, but at the time it was kind of frustrating. It was all an honest mistake, so it was fine. But the point is, the ad was so good, he just wanted all his affiliates to have it. And I basically came up with this just doing exactly what I explained to you in video number 2. I just tried different affiliate programs, different business opportunities. I tried this, I tried that, but everything I tried, I wrote down and I tried to learn from. I didn't just do this, do that, and then, you know, I forgot what I did last week and what ad worked, and I didn't click this and didn't track that. I made sure, I kept like a journal, an advertising journal. I made sure to like think about, why is it that this one is working so much better than that one? Or why is it that that's working? And so I was able to just kind of expand on my successes until eventually one day, literally this ad just popped into my head. And this kind of thing will happen to you too. If you're just kind of moving towards one creative process, eventually it's just gonna just come to you somehow. So here's the ad. The subject is tap into over 7 million inboxes today. Now this subject line, this was back in 2001, by the way. You can still use this ad, probably would work to sell certain things. But anyway, back in 2001, there was a lot of controversy about spam. A lot of people were spamming. It was kind of a gray area. Should we, shouldn't we do it, whatever. I advised against it from the start. I mean, nobody likes getting spammed, right? But the subject line was kind of feeding into that curiosity that marketers had back then. Like, should I or shouldn't I do it? So when I read this, they're thinking tap into over 7 million inboxes a day. First thing they're thinking is spam. The second thing they're probably thinking is, what's this tap into thing? What does that mean exactly? Tap into? Sounds kind of like hacking, right? You're like hacking into people's inboxes to like sell them your product. So that really amped up the curiosity factor. I mean, back then, this is a hard subject line not to click on. But of course you got to back it up, which is what I'll explain here. But the last part of the subject line is today. I always like to say today, right now. People like things done now, and if you could say it, say it. The body goes like this. This crazy, simple online resource lets you zero in on people who are ready to spend their money on your product. If you're tired of not making money online, click below for a breath of fresh air. The first thing I want to mention about this whole block here is there's a cadence to it. This crazy, simple online resource lets you zero in on people who are ready to spend their money on your product. It has a rhyme, it has a flow. That's done completely on purpose. I mean, it just, when you read it over, you can feel that kind of flow. And I found that to always work. Good ads has that kind of flow to it. But the second thing is, I expand on this idea and sort of explain it, but still keep the curiosity ramped up high. Because I'm saying, this crazy simple, well, I'd like to see a crazy simple online resource. What is it? You know, I still got the curiosity thing going in. But I'm also throwing in the benefits. It lets you zero in on people who are ready to spend their money on your product. Now, obviously there's going to be some skepticism, but it's not enough to I don't think, throw a lot of people away. It was just enough to get people curious enough to click, and that's what I wanted, because I'll explain that later. Here in this last part, I hit some emotional buttons. If you're tired of not making money online, click below for a breath of fresh air. And when I say hitting emotional buttons, that took me a long time to understand. I used to read that all the time from other marketers. What do you mean hitting emotional buttons? All it means is, if you're tired of not making money online, and the reader is actually tired of not making money online, you're bringing that emotion to the forefront. But I don't want people to be feeling frustrated when they're reading my ad. I want them to feel hopeful and motivated. So I follow it with click below for a breath of fresh air. So as they're going into the site, they're curious, they're maybe a little skeptical, but they're expecting some kind of new thing that's going to help them solve their problem of being tired of not making money online for these reasons here. right? But still skeptical, wondering, okay, what is this? Luckily, well, this was by design, the sales letter explained all of this. The product was a listing of all the newsletters online that you could advertise in. The total readership of all those newsletters was 7 million. And so as soon as people got to the sales letter, about halfway through, they would start to understand and put together what I meant by this ad. Now, if you're going to go out on a limb like this with an ad, you need to really complete it in a logical way. Otherwise, you're just insulting your reader, and you don't want that. So eventually they figured out, oh, this is like an easy directory. I can tap into 7 million inboxes. It lets you zero in on people who are ready to spend your money because it lets you pick what newsletters are actually relevant to your product. So all of this made sense. And that's very important. I was lucky enough to come up with an ad that was really amped a lot of curiosity, but then it completed nicely, and so it made a lot of money. I mean, when I read this in free resources back then, and the free resources back then are nothing like what I'm going to show you in the next video, you know, it would always outpull everything else. And I'm like, I think I have a winner here. So I put it on some paid advertising. I doubled my money. I put in some other paid advertising. Sometimes I would double, triple, quadruple my money. I spent the next year literally just spent an hour or two a day just placing ads and monitoring the results, and it did very, very well. The good news is you can do this too. You know, it's not rocket science. If you follow the methodology that I laid out in the second video, there's no reason why you can't come up with your own winning sales process, your own winning ad. And remember, that's the point of advertising, finding your own winning sales process. And the good thing is, there has never been a time than now to tap into all these, see, I use the word tap into, I'm used to it. There's never been a time where there's more free advertising than there is now because of this, because there just hasn't. And the next thing that I'm launching is going to really capitalize on that. So I just want to leave you with one last thing. I want you to imagine a completely free way to reach thousands of people and test your ideas. What is it? I'll tell you in the next video.